As we proceed to give you what you need. Not live, motherfuckers. Get live, motherfuckers. As we proceed to give you what you need. Not live, motherfuckers. Get live, motherfuckers.
Now turn the mics up. Turn that mic up. Yeah, the beat is knocking. Leave that mic up though. Turn that shit the fuck up. What? Turn it louder. Yeah. Who shot ya? Separate the weak from the opsa. Leap hard to creep them Brooklyn streets. It's on, nigga. Fuck all that bickering beef. I can hear sweat trickling down your cheek. Your heartbeat sound like Sasquatch feet. Thundering, shaking the concrete. Then the shit stopped when I fall the plot. Neighbors call the cops, said they heard mad shots. Saw me in the drop, 3 1/4. Slaughter, electrical tape around the border. Old school, new school, need to learn though. I burn, baby, burn like disco inferno. Burn slow like blunts with yayo. Peel more skins than Idaho potato. Niggas know the lyrical molesting is taking place. Fucking with B.I.G. it ain't safe. I make your skin chafe. Rashes on the masses. Bumps and bruises. Blunts and Land Cruisers. Big Papa smash fools, bash fools. Niggas mad because I know the cash rules. Everything around me, 2 Glock 9s. Any motherfucker whispering about mine. And I'm Brooklyn's finest. You rewind this, bad boys behind this. I seen the light excite all the freaks. Stack mad chips, spread love with my peeps. Niggas wanna creep, got to watch my back. Think the cognac and endo sack make me slack. I switches all that, cocksucker G's up. One false move, get Swiss cheese up. Clip the tech, respect, I demand it. Slip and break the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not fuck with North Sea Papa. Feel 1,000 deaths when I drop ya. I feel for you like Shaka Khan, I'm the Don. Pussy when I want Rolex on the arm. You'll die slow but calm. Recognize my face so there won't be no mistake. So you know where to tell Jake, lame nigga, brave nigga. Turn front page, nigga. Puff Daddy flips daily. I smoke the blunts, he sips on the Baileys. On the rocks, tote blocks at christenings. Hammer cop in the fire positioning. What? Come here. Open your fucking mouth. Did I tell you don't fuck with me? Huh? Did I tell you not to fuck with me? Huh? Look at you now. Huh? Can't talk with a gun in your mouth, huh? Bitch ass nigga. What? Who shot you? Who shot you? Who shot you? Who shot you? West Coast, West Coast, West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. As we proceed to give you what you need. As we proceed to give you what you need. Get live, get live, get money, as we proceed. Get live.
Good evening, everybody. Well, it's been an interesting last couple of hours. So, I don't have to tell y'all that I'm in certain clouds, right? And what's interesting is this is going to be a perfect fucking case study of what the fuck happens when claiming that we from down round to Chicago going horribly wrong. And see, at the end of the day, whenever you bring motherfuckers out of retirement, you always got to make sure that you're able to match that energy. Now, FyeWeasel and her co-host, the Chi-Town charlatan. See, my question would be, did you unpack your luggage already, honey? Wait a minute, I think I better put my readers on because I want to be able to see the comments. And you know what? Let me just make the sidebar. Welcome to everybody that's in the chat. And I just have to say this, and this is just a personal pet peeve of mine. Let me remove this banner. Okay, this is a personal pet peeve of mine that I have of bone carriers, because me myself personally, I think that the bone carriers are as bad as the content creators that are the shit starters. So, meow, let me ask you this. You from down to Chicago, right? And Maz, let him or her rock. I said meow. You from, because you are the personification of what I perceive to be a messy bitch, whether you a man or whether you a woman. And I just have to go ahead on and ask you, which side of the dick are you licking? Because see, I saw you over there down to FyeWeasel Nation a little while ago. And you were in there repping for the motherfuckers that's from down to Chicago, meow. And then I saw you over there in the governor's chat. So you remember when the ones that you were over there repping for down to Chicago summoned the governor out of retirement. I saw you in his chat. And it's your freedom to go wherever you want to go. But I just want to ask you, meow, which side of the dick are you licking? Because I saw you licking dick on the other side when you got over there. Okay, well, you always rep for Chicago. Well, let's see what you have to say when motherfuckers rep down to Chicago, and then we find out the real reason why they not going to Baltimore. So what say you, meow? Since you a native charlatarian, I'm a Chicago charlatan. I'm sorry, since you a native Chicagoan, let's hear what you have to say. And there's nothing personal against Chicago, because one of my closest sisters is from Chicago. Born and raised. So I just get confused when I see subscribers that I consider to be messy bitches. I don't give a fuck whether you're a bitch or a nigga. And you're in one chat room licking this side of the dick. And then when you in the other chat room, You done switched to the other side of the dick and you sucking it. I just had a question. Go ahead, Mods. Let her live. I'm just confused. You know, it's just a personal pet peeve of mine. But I digress. I get confused. So I just figure I would ask for clarity. Okay. Now I got some mods in the chat, but I also have some vet mods. Not that I don't have vet mods in the chat, but I have some watching from the clouds because it's certain things that I'm looking for. Right. So, and it's shit like that. So we just know who to keep an eye on. Okay. When they come into the spaces, because it shows, see, FyeWeasel was over there talking about character. And you know what character? See, when you talk about character, FyeWeasel, one of the things when it comes to character, see, this is how you can tell that these are bitches that don't do anything but beat up old Polish ladies, right? Because see, had you probably went and beat up one of them hood bitches, they would have beat you and your baby the fuck up down to Chicago. See, that's what I know. See, it wasn't one of those Horton Home hair-headed motherfucking hooligans that you had this dust up with. It was an old Polish lady. So I'm sorry, bitch. You want to rep down to Chicago where you're not going to get no street credibility as a professional ass kicker, bitch, unless you get out there and put some work in. And you don't get credit. You don't get brownie points for beating up some old Polish hoe. See, I would have to see proof of you beating up one of them Horton Homes hoe. You would have to dog walk in prison stomp one of those old Horton Homes hoes whose brother's dick you used to suck while your mom was out there selling pussy for your daddy down to Chicago. See, that's what I would have to see. And again, I'm just one person. But I would have to see you beat up one of those bitches whose brothers dick you was sucking while your grandmama was down to Chicago, being a hustler. And while your mama was out there selling pussy for the nigga that she told you was your daddy. See, here's the thing, FyeWeasel. Let me explain something to you, bitch. What the fuck makes you think I'm going to show you shit, bitch? Did I or did I not say I sent an email to daughter here? I sent an email copies, rather, forward the email in its entirety, which would have included the original email and any other additional emails to Sean Bradley, daughter here, and Mama Sippin'. Now, what Sean Bradley shares with you, what daughter here shares with you, what Mama Sippin' shares with you is their goddamn business. You can't apply pressure to me. See, bitch, you fold under pressure. I don't fold under pressure, bitch. See, can't nobody send me no letter or no email and tell me I can't go some motherfucking where or it's a hit out on me because it's a hit out on me. See, that doesn't, I thought I heard you before you summoned the governor up out of retirement. I thought I heard you say you don't live your life in fear, that you are not a fearful bitch, that when you down to Chicago and bitches come running up to you that are total strangers, that you embrace them and give them a hug when they say, ain't you fire, babe? And I found that quite interesting because you know what I know? I heard a week before. I heard give it 6 feet. Don't come run up on us down to Baltimore at the courthouse. Even though y'all was going to be surrounded by lawyers, judges, police cars. See, we know you a police bitch, and we know that the bitch sitting next to you with the dick is also a policing ass motherfucker. Because see, he don't consider you a bitch, even though he knows very much that you were a bitch that went and took out paperwork for a bitch that lived in Virginia. How many miles? Can somebody Google in how many miles it was? How much space and opportunity did VS have to come to Chicago to do anything to this bitch physically? See, I thought I heard a bitch a few minutes ago say if a bitch run up on you, she would get her issue. So we gonna need you to explain. You motherfucking weasel with a motherfucking wig on. See, what we got us here custard is an old nasty piece of weasel with a motherfucking wig on. We need to know why you took papers out on the bitch down there in Virginia. See, because if a bitch would run up on you and she would get her issue, then what's the purpose of a protection from abuse order from a bitch over the internet that is not physically there in your city? And it doesn't matter what threats. See, we know you're willing to protect your baby, right? Because you beat up an old Polish bitch behind protecting your daughter, right? Is that it? Not my words, bitch. Yours. Less than a couple of hours ago, bitch. That's what you said, not what I said. That ain't what Cookie Monster said. That's what FyeWeasel said. That's what the queen with the ding-a-ling that's in charge of the girls said. See, make that make sense. That you can get up here and expect to get bragging, right? See, you and Mr. Magoo and Mods, a part of our meeting is going to be, hello, beautiful Mods. I have some of the most outstanding mods, some of the baddest moderators in the motherfucking land. Okay, shout out to y'all. A part of what we're going to do moving forward is that the old geriatric motherfucking geezer, the flexible geezer, okay, the geriatric gigolo, aka Mr. Magoo. We're not going to use any words with the Z or the X or that or the GX. We're not using none of that. Okay, we can refer to him as Mr. Magoo going forward, or some other name, creative name that you create up. I don't want to see any dinosaurs, any rainbows, no Jurassic sissies, no none of that. Okay, I feel like he's gotten enough shine attaching. He's going to have to grind. He's going to have to get it out the mud. He's going to have to build his crowd organically. I feel like at the end of the day, he's attached himself like a fucking leech to enough black women, okay, in both sectors, like the predator that he is. Let him build his shit up. He gets no more shine or no more recognition. I don't care what he says, what he talks about, and what name he puts in the title. At the end of the day, pay him fucking dust. So I got people watching from the clouds. Some of my other veteran moderators, and they're watching out for certain things. They're not watching the other moderators, but they're watching out for certain trends that happen in certain chat rooms. It's a certain dynamic that I'm looking for, that we're on the lookout for. With that being said, he gets no more fucking shine. No more of his names and fucking titles. Okay? From henceforth, he'll be referred to as Mr. Magoo. I don't want any GFTV. I don't want any Jurassic sissies. I don't want any GXs or ZXs typed in the chat at all. As a matter of fact, that from in future live streams, and this is just a sidebar, that those words are actually going to be prohibited from being typed in the chat. Let him clout chase some fucking place else. Okay? At the end of the day, the black women in this space do not need him for a goddamn thing. He's not the clout. He's attaching himself like a leech to us because we have the sauce. Okay? And By doing so, that makes you your own boss. See, when you got the sauce, you don't have to, no. Let him clout chase someplace else. Okay? So it's kind of like a blackout on this particular channel. I don't care who else chooses to do business with him or collaborations with him. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Let them do that on their own channel and in their own chat room. Don't give him any shine. Don't mention his name. Mods from henceforth, okay? If a person does it that you don't see in the chat here now, should they visit on another live, give them a warning, 6-figure days. After that, get them up out of here, okay? Period. Likewise, if they come into the chat, type in another content creator's name that I'm actually beefing with. The other thing is somebody comes into the chat and announces that somebody is live, they get up out of here immediately. It's disrespectful to the channel. Okay, Queen of the South. There will be no toleration of that whatsoever. When the person comes in here and announces that somebody else is live, I don't care if you have seen him in this chat every single day for the last 6 months. Okay? They come in here promoting somebody else's shit, get them up out of here expeditiously. Okay? If they want advertisement, if they want promotion, let them fucking pay me for it. Ain't nothing free but they mama, they wife, and they baby mama's motherfucking pussy. Okay? Your sister's pussy is free. Not advertising via cookie. Okay? We gonna stop all of that. Hey, April, how are you, babe? Oh, okay. So again, the question would be, FyeWeasel, back to you. Okay? You wicked listen, y'all. We got us an old nasty piece of wicked weasel in a motherfucking wig Wednesday. Who would have thought it? That when we started out, that it would end in an old nasty piece of wig, a weasel in a motherfucking wig. A wicked weasel. Now she ain't just a regular old weasel. She's a wicked weasel in a motherfucking wig without 6 inches of parting space in it. Listen. But I digress. So, did you unpack yet, FyeWeasel? I said, did you and the queen sitting next to you that's in charge of the girls with the ding-a-ling, did you unpack yet, honey? Because based on that old nasty piece of, what was the title of that live stream? Renababes, you rang. On that old nasty piece of reed, after you summoned up the retiree, I thought I seen you motherfuckers packing. You got packed right the fuck on up. See, we love exposés like that over here in Black Sector. So the implication, and by doing so, what the queen with the ding-a-ling implied, the bad blood baker, the looting liar with the lack of locks, okay, with those lackluster locks, with the bride that used to pick locks, shit. He used to pick locks and come home and punch his beautiful bride in the face. And oh, I'm sorry. Did I hear that there was an old nasty piece of lesbians that had to come to your rescue? Oh, child. You just will never know the pleasure of being perched on a goddamn branch like an old nasty piece of turkey buzzard. Sipping all the tea, honey. So they go into this whole stream that is nothing more than a deflection. And if you're going to announce that you're live streaming from your prison cell. See, what we're going to need you to do, Fye, is we're going to need you to stop deflecting from the dirty ass motherfucking house that got exposed down around there on TikTok. See, we know about the dirt. We know about the filth in your house. See, so that's the reason why you're not coming on camera. Because, see, we know what your shit looks like when the lights go out. When the curtain goes down, apparently it's nothing but an old piece of nasty chicken box and chicken wing tips that you and your baby done ate off of down around on the ground. See, so what she's learning from her mama is how to be a nasty, filthy hoe. To eat chicken bones and throw the chicken bones down on the floor. And that's what she's deflected from. Okay? That's all that was. See, that's why she can't come on camera and look Weasel Nation in the eyes. See, the other thing that I got to thinking about is, bitch, are you trying to save those fees that you was going to spend to go there to be a support for Sean Bradley? Or are you trying to save that because you don't want to have to bring your broke, drop shipping diva motherfucking ass back up here in January for your own motherfucking court date, bitch, and beg one more again? See, the supporters that you claimed before you got popped, right? Exposing the real reason why you motherfuckers was shooketh and didn't want to go to Baltimore. See, and herein lies the difference. What the fuck do you being in Baltimore, what the fuck do you being born and raised in Chicago have to do with you going to Baltimore? See, this is all I expect from a bitch that used to hold up signs and walk little children across the street. See, I don't expect you to do any thinking. Just like the men that you meet and you bring home and expose to your baby don't expect you to do anything but sucking and fucking. That's all they expect from you. They don't expect for you to think, bitch. They didn't exchange numbers with you because they wanted you to think, bitch. They exchanged numbers with you because they wanted to fuck you in your ass, tear your pussy out the frame, and rip up your esophagus, bitch. They ain't gave you their number behind their wife's back and risk getting kicked out on a motherfucking house or happening to sleep on the couch for the next 6 months to get your number to hear you think, bitch. So I heard you say that basically the information that you're asking for. Well, here's the thing. I'll show you the contents of a fucking email or some origin of some fucking email, you raggedy Chicago and whore, when the fuck we find out who Leah's daddy is. See, I'll show you those motherfucking emails, bitch, when you drop those audio recordings that you told us that you had of the raggedy bitch that called in. What was her name? Frankly, Beverly and Mays. What the fuck is the bitch's name that was supposed to be there that she had these recordings of with her and Tracy D that you told us you were going to be dropping, but you never did? When we get privy to those audio recordings, then I'll show you a motherfucking email. I'll bring up those emails again, bitch. Who the fuck are you to request any motherfucking thing from me, bitch? The only thing you can request from me is say, Cookie Monster, Your Majesty, can you tell me how much long my name is going to be on the work assignment list, ma'am? That's all. And then bow the fuck out. If it pleases my motherfucking queen, bitch, that's all I want you to say to me. Not a goddamn thing else, bitch. When you address me, honey, when you address me, bitch, from over there, down to Weasel Nation, it better be as Your Majesty, bitch. That's it. Point blank, period. Okay, crossing guard. Now, I will show you the remaining emails. When you show me the death certificate for that baby, honey, I said, I will show you the remainder of the emails when you show me a death certificate from the coroner's office down to Chicago. With the cause of death on it, bitch. From your son that died of SIDS. Let you tell it. Little Lazarus. I said, I'll show you those emails, bitch, when you show me a goddamn obituary from little Lazarus, honey. Oh, I'm sorry. I got me old nasty piece of Lucifer spirit on me, bitch. It's a Jezebelian spirit that I just can't wash off me, bitch. It's the reason why I exist and why I've aged like this. Gracefully, if I must say. But it's not about me. I'm sorry. That was a little narcissistic moment I had found myself in. Okay, but anyway, I will agree to show you the remaining emails if you show me how your mama went from selling pussy for the nigga that she told you was your daddy down to Chicago on a whole stroll to being a bank teller. See, I will show you those emails you were requesting, that you were actually demanding, because you said giving you information that you asked for. Well, the nigga that fathered Leah asked for a paternity test. Do you ever get it? And I've been all down. Listen, I said the nigga that asked for the paternity test to your little outer wetlock bastard down there. See, did you give it to him? When he gets the paternity test that he requested for, there will be documentation of who the fuck her daddy is. Then I'll show you the remainder of those emails. When you show us that you're not a bitch that stole your military valor, then I'll show you the remainder of those emails. When you show us how you were in active military duty, but working at a bank in Chicago, while also attending a college university, not a community college, a college university, all at the same time, bitch, then you'll get the fucking emails that you requested, bitch. Who the fuck are you to request any fucking thing of me? And who the fuck are you to even address me, bitch? And I'm talking about you, FyeWeasel, specifically, other than any motherfucking thing but your majesty. Don't you ever send for me again, bitch. Okay? Period. And I'm not retired, bitch. Listen, I'm not retired. Don't intend on retiring any fucking time soon, bitch. Okay? So I was writing notes because there was so many lies and so much deflection. See, they never had any intention on telling y'all the real reason as to why they did not have any intention. And again, FyeWeasel, Weasel Nation, we want to know whether or not those tickets to the hotel room, because see, we want to know, did the tickets for the plane, because see, here's the other thing. I think they used that as the perfect excuse. And I'm going to tell you how a Chi-Town hustling bitch operates. See, again, in my former occupation, if you can think of it, a junkie and a crackhead will come up with any motherfucking story. They come up with all types of cockamamie stories to get their motherfucking fix. And it gets you to give it to them without the money, without the cash on hand. Cash and carry type of business. Right? It's either ass or cash. That's the policy, right? So I'm not surprised of the extent that a junkie will go through. So nothing that they're doing. I've been around hustlers all my life. And motherfuckers that thought that they could finesse a bitch that is a finesse. Okay? So I believe they took those emails and used those emails. They could have actually made reservations. It's not difficult because hotels they have a lot of occupancy because of COVID. Because despite the fact that people think that everything is up and running, it's not. Everything is not 100%. So there is a lot of occupancy. They could have purchased those tickets with the specific intent of canceling the tickets and using that email claiming that their lives were at risk. They could have used that information that had been sent to them had they provided that to the airlines may have even given them a special courtesy of waiving a cancellation fee. See, bitch, we need to see the date that you purchased the flight, the car, the hotel. Where's the date at, bitch? You don't get the benefit of the doubt. So you're talking about motherfuckers known. Show me when have I ever, bitch, doctored up any document? When have I ever put out a doctored receipt? Where is the receipt for that? No, you're known as the pathological liar. And what you admitted is that you were more than willing to co-sign something that you knew was a lie when it came to Pastor Wilson, right? Because that fit your agenda. So what we have is Mr. Magoo admitting that he knew that this bitch drug children, even when he attacked other people and their children, claiming that it was in defense of her child. He admits that he knew she drugged children. And what she admits is that she knew when Mr. Magoo put out that receipt claiming that Jay Wilson had been married, that she knew it was a doctored receipt. But nonetheless, you brought it out here and presented it as truth, as evidence in front of your audience. And you said, in fact, you believed it, right? So when exactly did that change? When you decided that it wasn't working with Mr. Magoo? Is that when you decided that that changed? No, bitch, I'm sorry, not sorry. Bitch, we're not going. And it's not likely that we'll be going in 2022 either, bitch. We need to see the date. Since you're making demands. No, don't prove it to me. Prove it to Weasel Nation. We need to see the date. See, ask that bitch that gave that detailed history, those hoes that was calling in and giving this detailed explanation. Ask those bitches that are so detail oriented for this weasel in a motherfucking wig to drop a receipt with the goddamn date that she purchased those motherfucking tickets. Just like we haven't seen, right? She showed us a respective itinerary for that cruise. And again, I have a sister that I'm very close to that's like my sister that was born and raised in Chicago that knows all about those cruises and everything else. Did she show you when she actually purchased some shit? No, she showed you a fucking itinerary just like she showed you down there on her community tag. And I'm sorry, we need to see more evidence. Now, when you show me how your grandmama got into those pearly white gates, how your grandmama went from scamming the motherfuckers in the projects, a little jack front preacher bitch, a little, what do they call it? A high prophetess. A prophetess. How your mama went from a prophetess scamming folk down there in the projects to play in the harp in heaven, bitch. When you can show me how you did that, show me proof that your grandmama ain't in hell with little Lazarus. And then I'll show you the receipts, bitch. Don't you ever. Not as long as you a motherfucking weasel with a motherfucking wig on. Request a motherfucking thing of me, you raggedy motherfucking bitch. Okay? They down there thinking they buying them an old nasty piece of lace front. And this bitch is around there shaving. She shaving. Some of Weasel Nation might be missing, y'all. She down there shaving weasels and making wigs out of them, y'all. See, that's what we think all them boxes was. The drop shipment diva. Brown here shipping shaved weasels to folks. That's what she doing in her spare time. Shaving weasels and making motherfucking wigs out of them. The goddamn parting space look like you done had QB with them beady motherfucking eyes, stitch the goddamn weasels, stitch the goddamn wigs to fuck together for you. Now, the other thing is you can tell that she has been helping. See, I think the reason why you weren't on camera, FyeWeasel, is because you were actually whispering the words in QB's ear as he was talking, because I find it difficult to believe that his reading comprehension has improved that much, bitch. I'm sorry, not sorry. He didn't go from looking, he didn't go from reading. Like, go, spot, read, these things are, what is this coming up on the screen? Please, somebody help me. I can't read. FyeWeasel. No, bitch. He didn't go to that. He didn't go from that to the words rolling off his tongue, bitch. You were in his motherfucking ear and the other side of that goddamn apartment on that seat. He didn't come on screen either. He was behind black screen because you were in his motherfucking ear in that goddamn dirty ass, filthy goddamn condo, whispering the words in the nigga's motherfucking ear. You ain't slick, bitch. You ain't slick. You ain't did a motherfucking thing but turn that goddamn camera towards a dirty goddamn corner in that motherfucking apartment or condo, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay? Trash dump. Whatever the fuck it is. It looked like a goddamn abandoned motherfucking apartment. It looked like immigration. It looked like ICE. It looked like you was hoarding the whole motherfucking house full of M13 motherfucking members, and ICE came knocking on the motherfucking door. That's what the apartment looks like. Like it was left frozen in time. It looked like the SWAT. When the marshals come run up in that, when the SWAT kick your door in, the house is left as is. So usually when they bring pictures in the court, whatever the fuck the house look like, that's what is frozen in time. That's what I thought I was looking at. I said, well, goddamn, did her and QB get copied from the plug, or what the fuck was happening? Like, what's the explanation for this? It's only 2 people in the motherfucking house. How much filth can 2 people, again? So that pretty little room that Mr. Magoo was talking about, he's seen. See, that was staged in. That's not how you're really living. Because if that was how you was really living, see, you clean up, and she cleans up your area. I think you the type of bitch that cleans up what folks can see. So when it's said and done, there's nothing that, oh, you got to excuse the house, y'all, type of bitch could say to me. Not ever, bitch. I don't fuck with, oh, you got to excuse the house. But, bitch, you done been saying that every time a motherfucker comes over your motherfucking house, bitch. You don't have, no, we ain't gonna excuse shit, bitch. Clean this shit up, bitch. Get that little bitch to help you clean up in here, bitch. Ain't no excuse for it because it's only 2 bitches in the house, bitch. I said it. And you already know, bitch, I don't give no fucks, ho. When you open up the motherfucking door and start talking about mines down to Patreon, yours is fair game, bitch. And for the bitches that's in their feelings about it, go tell it on a motherfucking mountain. And that would include them fake ass motherfucking hoes that's over there calling the fuck in, talking about how it's out of control and how it need to stop. No, ask that bitch. Which one of y'all fake ass bitches was going to ask that bitch, what the fuck did you really do with that motherfucking money that them goddamn sponsors gave? Which one of them bitches that was going to call into that motherfucking ship? You got all these opinionated bitches in chats that got so much to say about every motherfucking thing. You got all these content creators that are so motherfucking opinionated. Did y'all motherfuckers not see that number? Did you not see the number down there in the chat when she told you to call in? Why did none of y'all call in? So no, bitch, it's you that thought that you was going to be able to conceal that email that Rick Reed sent QB, dark trolling you. And unbeknownst to you, Rick Reed was on the other end of that fucking email. See, you thought it was a fellow content creator that was just looking out for you in QB. And what they told you, according to what the email said that Rick Reed read, was that there was a hit out on you in QB. And that's the real reason why you weren't going to go to court. Again, if you were to show an airline, our lives are in jeopardy. We were planning to go here as YouTubers to report information that we got. Because airlines are what? Federal. You could sort of finesse, especially when you're talking about a Chi-Town charlatan. You could finesse that to your advantage and say, we have to cancel. They may even excuse or waiver the cancellation fees. So again, bitch, we need to see the date that you actually booked the tickets. The hotel room and the car. Other than that, we're not going. We know they lie in sparkling water. And I'm going to go through the chat in a minute. Okay? We know they was lying. The other thing is because the bitch don't want to come back up here and have to beg again. Hold on, y'all. Let me take this headset off. I don't need to have the headset on to use my microphones. I can't take them big old things on my ears. Okay. So, in other words, right, we need to see the reservation number. Hey, Leak You, how are you? Hey, your viewers of you. Okay. We need to see the reservation number. So initially, the implication was, as I'm watching the live stream, and I watched the live stream up until the time that the governor went live. I got the notification that he went live. They both were implying that the emails were sent to me by Rick Reed. And then they were really reaching to imply that me and Mr. Magoo were in. No, bitch, I don't operate the way you do. See, and again, that's a projection. And why would she believe that I would be having any fucking thing to do with Mr. Magoo? Because that's what she did. Remember, she wanted to pull in all of the help that she could get. You know what else was interesting? When they first took on that list, after the first week, do you remember? They actually were talking about inviting Stomp Down to read the list as a guest, basically as another co-host, to pull him in to read the list. Now, I think I heard that Stomp Down respectfully declined to take part in reading the list. So I'm going to say allegedly, but I do know for a certainty that she and him talked about having Stomp Down read the list. So that was another way for you to pull somebody in to help you fight your fight. That is the reason why I said I do not acknowledge you as the queen of any fucking thing. You know what you are? You're Queen Weasel. You're Queen Weasel with a wiggle. And you will be acknowledged as that, nothing more, nothing less. I don't acknowledge you as another queen. When it comes to war, if you don't actually fight your own battle, I can't give you a title that you didn't earn. I don't care what you earned in the beef sector. For me to recognize you as a queen, right? You have to meet the criteria according to the black sector standards. And quite frankly, you fail epically. You fail epically. I don't respect women who, instead of, when they get into issues with other women, they stand and they fight their own battles. What you did was what you actually expected Rick Reed to do, which was interject himself into something between two women. And he provided clarity. That's not some newfound position that he took, right? Because he said that from the very beginning when QB interjected himself. Just like you remember, I don't know if you all remember that, but he said that very early on. Why are you jumping in something that didn't have anything to do with you? As a matter of fact, quite a few of you had questions about that. If it's between Babe and Cookie Monster, why is QB interjecting himself? As a matter of fact, what some of y'all thought was that Fi actually kind of caught him off guard, because it went from them being cool with me to, again, she has an issue with me, and because she needs help to fight her battles, again, bitch, I have yet to see you on the battlefield. See, when you're by yourself and you don't have your co-host with you, the queen with the ding-a-ling, you don't say much. That's when you come out with this above the fray attitude, this unbothered attitude. You have yet to fight your own battle. And then to add insult to injury, you go to a man that is now letting you know what the fuck he's thought about you all along. But see, you knew he was abusive from the very beginning. You knew he was the type of man that beats women from the very beginning, because that is what you acknowledged the first time that he came on your show. And you went from that in order to cut off your nose to spite your fucking face to this YouTube ship, albeit a temporary one, to get him to attack your enemies. Do you all remember in the very beginning when she was thanking Mr. Magoo for defending her and her child. And do you remember when she went down that list and I told you all that's the list that she of her enemies that she's giving him to go after? And sure enough, he went after and attacked every last person that she named. And he went a step further and started attacking other women on her behalf. So here we have a woman that was 100% knowledgeable that this was an abuser. And nonetheless, it was okay. She was okay with turning him loose on women in her own sector for her own, basically for what? To fight her battles. So that all she had to do was sit back and milk her cult for all the coin that she could get. She could focus on that and allow him to fight her battles. So at the end of the day, I caught a portion of Vic's live stream earlier. When it's said and fucking done, I do not feel sorry for her fucking child. You know why? Because she did not feel any fucking empathy or compassion when she unleashed this man that she knew was abusive, that she knew was attacking other people's fucking children, that she knew had attacked and doxed other people's children, right? She didn't have any empathy or any sympathy or compassion for any fucking body else. So at the end of the day, fuck her and her entire bloodline. And yes, that would include her daughter and little Lazarus too. Sorry, not sorry. See, when you bring your emotions into a situation, see, I'm able to still carry a bitch tactically and strategically. And when it's necessary to remove my emotion from a situation and make a decision based on business. It doesn't matter if you're angry or if you're in a fit of rage or whatever the case may be. If you're not a fucking rat, you're not a rat. You can't custom detail when you're going to be a rat. Either you are. That's almost like being a little bit pregnant. Either you're a rat or you're not. So although I can draw the line at that and say, okay, when it comes to certain things, I'm not a policing type of bitch. Me personally, I do not believe that something that a bitch is saying and doing over the fucking internet warrants a bitch being criminally charged. Not when you're equally doing. In the instance of when it's truly a person that's actually a victim, that's actually dealing with stalking and harassment, that is something different. You have to carry it on a completely different level. If it's a total, imagine another content creator, like one of my other favorites is Taste Pink. Okay. Say, for instance, if somebody was to start viciously attacking her, a content creator that I think she has over 500,000 subscribers. She's an amazing content creator. She's over in the beauty sector, but she's been a YouTuber for many years. Now, if somebody was to come out and start viciously attacking her, she doesn't have, first of all, she doesn't create that type of content. She doesn't, that's not her aura, that's not her stilo, that's not her style. She's not into any of that. Now, if she was to start being attacked, there will be something different. These bitches are out here doing the very same thing that they're running to the courthouse, seeking the relief from the courts, that they're doing the same thing. So therefore, they're trying to weaponize the criminal justice system the same way Mr. Magoo was. Now, if he was a law-abiding citizen, right, that wasn't involved in any of that, if he actually was creating that sort of pro-Black community activist type of content, as opposed to him abusing, stalking, and harassing women on YouTube day and night, attempting to build something for himself off of the backs of Black women on a day-to-day basis. He doesn't even get into long-standing conflicts like that with men. Why doesn't he go back and forth with them the way that he does relentlessly when it comes to women? So a person like that does nothing but abuse women from the time he wakes up to the time he closes his eyes at night. And he'll be doing it until the time that he closes his eyes permanently, or until his eyes are permanently closed for him, right? Him going to the police after he's harassed or exposed or put people's family, even if he did not harass the family himself, he certainly put them at risk to be harassed. To be harassed when he put out their information. So he's not a victim. He's another villain. He wants to play victim when it's convenient. And then you have people that act like they have no knowledge of what he's actually done. When it comes to that, I don't believe that type of person is a victim. You can't do the same thing that the person that you're trying to have prosecuted is doing, and then somehow you're the victim. I think when people do that, what they want to do is to set the stage so that way they're able to say and do whatever they want to do to you, and you can't react because they're holding your freedom or that leverage over your fucking head as ammunition. And they want to shift the control dynamic. They're not willing to actively battle out for full control. They want the power. But they don't want to pick up the sword and go to war. But they want the power. They want the accolades. I told you that they want the perks, and they want the perks of being the villain. You can't be the villain and the victim at the same time. You want the perks of being the villain, but you don't want to put the work in. You want to bypass that. There's no way to bypass it. Either you're a villain or you're not. Hey, Soap and Wash. And you'll see that a lot of times. You'll see people doing shit. And then when they get called out on it, because they don't want to stand on it, they'll deny it and deny it and deny it and deny it and deny it. But they want the props for it. You can't have it both ways. You can't do villain-like things and then get up here and pretend to be a victim. You can't volunteer and then pretend to be a victim after the fact. Volunteering is just that. It means that you volunteer for something that you don't have to do. And a lot of times it's a matter of these people not wanting to own what they did. They don't want to own what they said. You know why? Because there's a consequence that comes with it. And that's what they're trying to bypass. They're trying to bypass actually putting in the work. And they're trying to bypass the consequences of when you do have to become, I'm sorry, not sorry. I know that a lot of the subscribers would like to believe, and a lot of well-meaning, I'm talking about well-meaning content creators. I know that everybody would like to believe that this is the land of, milk and honey and everything is nice. No, at the end of the fucking day, there is no way to be up on this bitch and not be a ruthless, especially as a woman. You do not have male privilege. I don't give a goddamn what they say. They have male privilege, even as black men. Okay, when it's said and done. So if you think by any stretch of the imagination, you do not have to be ruthless at times. Okay, and you can't care. Can a queen just get through her whole reign just being nice? And listen, they will usurp her fucking kingdom. And I'm talking in a figurative sense. But we know when you look back on history, and you Think about some of the most powerful queens. You cannot be a queen and be afraid to say off with his head, off with her head. You cannot be a queen and be afraid to sever her head. It may be times when it's appropriate for you to sever the heads. It might be a motherfucking member of your court that you got, whose head you got to sever. Because your survival and the survival of your fucking reign may depend on it. And you have to be able to do it without any fucking hesitancy. How many times have members have a part of the queen and the king's court tried to set them up to be killed? There's a reason why they have somebody to drink their wine first, to make sure it's not fucking poisoned. They have a member of their court to be able to do that, right? So again, what happens if somebody is caught trying to poison the queen or the king? That's an act of high treason, and it's a death sentence. So although if you think about it from the perspective of your if you think about it in a figurative sense, that your platform is your little kingdom. You are the queen or the king of it. You almost, and your moderators are like members of your court. They have access to the queen or to the king. So they are just as much a part of your channel as you are. They keep things running smoothly. They see things that maybe you may not see. Okay? So there is no way you have to be ruthless at times. I'm sorry. If you think that you can play nice with a bitch that will get up here and lie on you, do sneaky, dirty shit, and then run down to the Chicago courthouse and take paperwork out on you and claim she's in fear for her fucking life. So the question would be, what the fuck did FyeBabe? Why was she so adamant about getting VS off of YouTube if she wasn't going to do anything but do some of the things that VS used to do? Did she want to get rid of VS to become VS 2.0? Is that it? I said, did FyeBabe take her bitch ass down? See, listen here. I want y'all to understand this. Every fucking thing that she's accusing Rita the Rat of fucking doing, that bitch has done. But what she's doing, what she did tonight, was try to justify, as if to say, well, Rita's a rat for doing this. And she has her co-host clapping, like a little weasel, right next to her, right? Saying, you're right. You're right. Y'all, she's a whole rat. But FyeBabe's not a rat, even though FyeBabe did just that. Somehow, FyeBabe was justified in going to take paperwork out on a bitch that was in Virginia. She could brag about beating up an old Polish bitch. Now, let her tell it, right? I'm sorry. She was protecting her daughter. So why wouldn't she have been able to do, had this bitch come up from Virginia and run up on her, she should have been able to do the same goddamn thing that she did to that old Polish lady. If you could dog walk an old goddamn woman to protect your daughter, you damn well should have been able to tear a bitch's ass out the frame. Had you seen, it wasn't like you didn't know what she looked like. You knew exactly what she looked like. You knew she hadn't left Virginia, and you knew she hadn't left Virginia because she was online every fucking day. From the same goddamn place. So you knew she had never left the goddamn state of Virginia and flown or drove to Chicago. But she sat up there tonight and said it was a long process. It was a long process because you was a determined bitch. And although you were doing the same fucking thing, Although you had talked shit about her child and implied that she put on animal print and was involved in some sort of incestuous relationship with her fucking child, whether he was an adult or not. She had a special needs child that you implied she had an incestuous relationship with. What did she say in that interview at Wiley? When she was interviewed by Wiley, what did she say? Oh, okay. What? Oh, that's what she said? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, listen. She didn't say, I'm going down to Chicago to take paperwork out on this hoe. Virginia's a Commonwealth state. She didn't say, I'm going to take paperwork out. My son is in a protected class. She don't have no right to do that. We just roasting and gagging. Why you attacking my child? You know what she said? Keep that same motherfucking energy. And I'm paraphrasing. When I retaliate, just keep that energy. That's what she told you. Not my words, VS's words. That came out of Susie's mouth. So you have an instance of where tonight she's calling somebody else a fucking rat. When that bitch sitting over there, a whole goddamn nasty piece of Sammy the Bull motherfucking Gravano down to Chicago. See, you got the outfit down there in Chicago. Bitch, don't get me started. You got the outfit. The origin of the motherfucking mob, the mafia, down to Chicago. Right? And this bitch is sitting over there behind a black motherfucking screen or with a camera pointed at a dirty corner in her motherfucking filthy ass goddamn condominium. Calling somebody else a motherfucking rat. When this bitch is over there, a whole nasty motherfucking piece of goddamn Sammy the Bull motherfucking Gravano. And then justifying it the same way Sammy the Bull did. Did Sammy the Bull have to flip on John Gotti? No, the fuck he did not. He could have set him up the same goddamn way. Listen, they were in prison together. Just because they were in, it doesn't matter whether they were in prison or not. They were still too powerful. That was his fucking underboss. They could have went to war within the prison. That's just it. They was in there killing motherfuckers anyway. Motherfuckers get killed in prison every day. Just because you don't hear about it on the news all the time, you better ask Uncle Suge. They kill motherfuckers in prison all the time. You just don't hear about it. So do you think for some reason, because they're in prison, that they lose somehow their status quo? They don't. They're still powerful even behind prison bars. That's the reason why a lot of times they keep them in solitary confinement, or they'll put them in supermax because they catch them doing illegal shit within the institution all the fucking time. So did he have to rat him the fuck out? No. They were going to be in prison. So no, he didn't have to do that. He chose to do that to get him back. To save his own fucking neck. I wouldn't give a fuck what you heard in the motherfucking audio recording. You his fucking underboss. You know the ins and outs. If ever, here's the thing. If ever there was a motherfucker that could have killed John Gotti, it would have been Sammy the fucking Bull Gravano. Why? Because he knew him. How long had he been working as his underboss? Who knew him better than Sammy? So it was a choice for Sammy to become a fucking rat. So this bitch is sitting her ass up there, a whole goddamn Sammy the Bull Gravano, and justifying. She's sitting up there in a fucking Chuck E. the Cheese rat costume, pointing out Rita the rat. I can't take you seriously. Nobody does. You mean to tell me you down round? We down down to Chicago, and bitch, you don't know that? And that's where the Chicago outfit is. That's where all the goddamn Al Capone, all them motherfuckers come from. That's when the mob was the mob. I'm quite sure they still got a stronghold down there around downtown Chicago. And you don't know that? So here you got a bitch in a city where a part of the mafia, one of the most powerful mafia families was in the whole motherfucking country. And this bitch is sitting up there and she don't know what being a rat means. No, bitch, you are a coward. And you tried to do the same goddamn thing Rita the motherfucking rat is fucking doing. And you justifying it. Because you a punk ass motherfucking bitch. The same way somebody could send you a fucking email. She was just saying tonight, I don't live my life in fear. A strange bitch can walk up to me and say, hey, ain't you fun? Okay, so if a strange bitch, why did you have to give the announcement a week ago? To say if a strange bitch walked up on you, do you realize that no fucking body was going? Let me tell you something. You're bragging about being from Chicago. Stupid bitch. And this is how you know. When this bitch was a goddamn crossing guard, that was the best that this dumbass bitch could offer. Helping little bitch, go back to helping little children cross the street. You're not required to do a whole bunch of thinking. You should have never quit your day job, bitch. What part are you not understanding? I'm just not understanding. What part is she not understanding? You're doing, you did to Susie the same thing that Rita the rat is doing. Oh, Rita's the rat, but oh, I'm not a rat. Look how long her tail. She always saying, look how long her tail is. Oh, would you look at her nose. Look at the whiskers on her nose. Look, but no, my whiskers are short. I keep my whiskers trimmed. Look, she's eating Swiss cheese. I'm eating Munster. My cheese is aged to perfection. Oh, QB, would you like to have some queen with the ding-a-ling? Would you like to have some of my cheese? We're not doing the same thing. QB, pass the wine. Bitch, just again, because another bitch is drinking Moscato and this bitch is over there drinking Merlot and eating her motherfucking cheese. Tail just a growing. Tail is growing in a way the QB's edges ain't gonna never grow. Just like that house in Virginia ain't gonna never grow up out of his motherfucking blood. So what's ironic is that, when it's said and done, when a motherfucker believes their own motherfucking lies, what's the point? What's the point? Let me look at my notes and see. I have wrote some stuff down. Hey, everybody. So yes, again, for those of y'all that are just coming in, tonight, FyeBabe and QB held a live stream to kind of say why they were not, to basically explain why they were not going to Baltimore. At the end of the day, FyeBabe, The minute that you opened your fucking mouth, the fact that you are big, you're over there bragging about, we from Chicago. You from Chicago, bitch, but the first thing, when your first announcement of going to Baltimore was that you were going to hire security. If you from Chicago and you with the shits and you knew that you were going to a courthouse full of police officers, police cars, cameras, all of this shit, why would you have to hire security in the first place, bitch? You lost when you made that first announcement. But because yet again, you're an arrogant bitch, a snitch ass bitch, a rat ass bitch. You are the fucking bitch that QB was describing. How many times did you get called out on what you were doing to Susie and told that, listen, it wasn't that, it's not that serious. She's not a threat to you. She's all the way down there in Virginia. Did you stop? But you have a whole motherfucking live stream trying to stop somebody else from being a fucking rat. Could anybody stop you? I said, could anybody stop you? Did anybody stop you? Did anything that anybody said or did from the moment you went down to that goddamn courthouse, you filming to go take paperwork out on a bitch and glad you fucking got it, ass bitch? See, that's what I remember. I remember seeing a happy bitch that a restraining order was issued on a bitch you had never seen. You weren't even in the same goddamn city with. As if you were fucking innocent and not doing the same goddamn thing that Susie was doing. So again, the question would be, were you fighting so hard to get VS arrested or to get VS served so that you could be VS 2.0? Because I'm not seeing where you have done a fucking thing from the date of VS's arrest on this motherfucker. I'm not seeing where you have done a goddamn thing differently, bitch. Not one fucking thing. If any fucking thing, you're worst. You're worse because you expect motherfuckers to forget that you're now doing the same goddamn thing that you claim was so goddamn problematic with VS. Didn't you just fucking send papers to Timothy Blaine's goddamn neighbors? I said, didn't you just send a copy of Timothy Blaine's criminal history to his fucking neighbors? But she gets up here tonight and brags about the fucking fact that somebody was calling her fucking mother. Well, what fucking right did you have? Since you, again, nobody's telling anybody how to fight. I'm talking about you don't get to do the same thing that somebody else is doing and then get up on this bitch and pretend to be a fucking victim. Who the fuck are you to call any fucking body out on dragging any fucking body's kids when you have fucking done it? You've done it. But whenever it's convenient, see, she want to pull somebody else's motherfucking history up, but she want motherfuckers to forget about hers. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm not going. I ain't forgot about yours, bitch. You got a history up on this bitch. You don't get to pull up and drudge up whenever the fuck it's convenient to deflect from the fact that your daughter was on TikTok making videos showing a nasty, filthy ass. Listen, I got him out. When I seen them pictures, I had a Miss Pearly moment. I said, this child is filthy. I had a motherfucking Miss Pearly moment. You don't get to, whenever it's convenient, drudge up somebody else's history and then think that your wholeness in the whole shit you have did, in the bitch ass rat snitch shit that you've done, gets motherfucking deleted, bitch. She was up here thinking that, no, bitch, your snitching don't get deleted, bitch. If you a snitch, you gonna be one forever, bitch. Sammy the Bull is still a fucking snitch, even though he spent 20 years in jail for running the goddamn ecstasy motherfucking ring in fucking Arizona. He's still a fucking rat. Nothing about that will ever change. He's no longer in the witness protection program. Does that mean he's not a fucking rat? He's still a fucking rat. Nothing about that will ever fucking change. He will be a rat until the day he closes his eyes. Mr. Magoo will be a rat until the day he closes his eyes permanently, or somebody closes him for him. Nothing about that is going to change. You're trying to make this line of demarcation between yourself and what the fuck Rita the Rat is doing, and bitch, there is no fucking difference. You were also advised and counseled that it wasn't that deep. And maybe y'all should just keep it to YouTube. And maybe you shouldn't bring the authorities into what's going on, because you could actually open up a can of worms and start having YouTube scrutinize. See, because that's what's going to happen. This whole land of milk and honey that you niggas have going on. See, when things come out that bitches are getting thousands of dollars and you're also collecting Social Security, because it didn't go over my head that somebody said that you were collecting Social Security for your fucking daughter. And Pastor Wilson, you talking about ponytail challenges. Bitch, what about the challenge to show you in your motherfucking military uniform? Until you do that, bitch, when you show a picture of you in active military duty, then you can see the remainder of those emails. Until then, fuck you, bitch. Don't you ever address me again, you raggedy bitch. You weasel in a motherfucking wig. You wicked weasel in a wig. Don't you ever address me again, bitch, unless you address me as your fucking majesty. Okay? Point blank, period. She's sitting there describing as she eats cheese and sips her motherfucking Merlot. Or Pinot Grigio. They having them a whole nasty piece of rat story time over there. Down to Chicago. But you gonna talk about somebody else. Bitch, you just as much a rat as that bitch is. And you tried to imply that this is the snake shit that they did. This is when claiming that we from down to Chicago goes horribly wrong. Because while you was sitting your ass up there, you should have left well the fuck enough alone. But because you know motherfuckers are all eyes are on you, bitch, as the goddamn scamming, conniving bitch that probably never had no fucking intent to ever leave fucking Chicago in the first place. You and your goddamn Chicago charlatan goddamn co-hosts, right? Y'all never had either. It's one of two things. Either you got spooked by that email and decided that you would cancel, or you never purchased the ticket in the first fucking place. Either fucking way, bitch, we want to see the date that you purchased those tickets. Because see, another thing, I'm tired of hearing regurgitated content from you having your funky motherfucking ass up there in my clouds coming out of your fucking mouth, bitch. That's the reason why whatever the fuck I have, bitch, you are never going to see all of it. I'm not Mr. Magoo, bitch. I told you from the very fucking beginning. You impressed him, not me, bitch. I'm not impressed with your ilk. I see you as a very superficial bitch. And you are just as predatory as niggas like Mr. Magoo. You and Mr. Magoo have a whole lot the fuck in common. If any motherfucking reason why you motherfuckers wouldn't make a good couple, it's because you motherfuckers are just alike. And you were never going to share a piece of the fucking pie. You and him are the type of snake motherfuckers that behind each other's backs will be trying to slice off a little extra piece for your motherfucking self. It would have been like watching two cobras intertwined. But I thought somebody said that your child was getting SSI. Again, fuck a ponytail challenge, bitch. Nobody, again, you another bitch that want to go through, you want to go through a goddamn YouTube autobiography, just like the old nasty piece of flowers in an addict's goddamn byproduct of motherfucking incest. That whole, it rubs the lotion on its skin, dancing around with his dick tucked in his motherfucking ass. Just like the white boy. Just like I didn't ask him for a goddamn autobiography, bitch. Nobody clicked on your live stream. We clicked on the live stream to hear about why your bitch ass wasn't going to Baltimore. Ain't nobody click on the live stream to ask you about no backstory, bitch. Fuck your backstory and it rubs the lotion on skin. He was giving me flowers in the motherfucking attic energy. He was giving me throw a bitch in an abandoned well and it rubs the lotion on its skin vibes. Yeah. No God. No God. Lola, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it, honey. It was something I wrote. It was something I was thinking about. I'm sorry. It was something. Okay, it was something. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to make sure I went through all of my notes before I get ready to close out. Okay, so again, like I said, y'all, she was basically saying that the governor had emailed me. That's who had sent those emails. Again, bitch, you can see what you think you're going to do. Fye, babe, you're not the smartest bitch in the room. You never have been, honey, and you never will be. So, you can't finesse me out of anything I don't want to show you, bitch. Who the fuck are you? You don't ever, bitch, order me to do a motherfucking thing, ho. I said yesterday was the last goddamn day I was going to show them goddamn emails. You can request all you want. Bitch, meet my request. Show me who the fuck Leah's daddy is. Then you can see the emails. Show me your revenue for this successful business that you claim that you got, Dropship Diva. Then you can see some fucking emails. Prove to me how your mama went from walking the whole stroll down to Chicago to being a goddamn bank teller. Show me that you ain't got stolen valor by posting a picture of you in active military duty in your fatigues. Show me the death certificate that says SIS for little Lazarus. Show me little Lazarus's obituary. Better yet, show us where you have gone to visit the cemetery where little Lazarus was laid to rest. Little Lazarus, little Elijah Rock, whatever you call the little nigga. Show us proof of that. Because see, apparently for some motherfucking reason, bitch, I think you got me confused with the queen with the ding-a-ling that's sitting next to you, bitch. So you can order him around like your little personal kitchen, bitch. Bitch, I'm not that. You don't order me to do a motherfucking thing, ho, for your motherfucking benefit. Who the fuck do you think you are? You got me and life all fucked up, bitch. You got me just as crooked as I would have slapped your motherfucking wig had you landed some motherfucking where with that. Listen, bitch. You got me as crooked as you got me as fucked up. Child, listen. Don't get me started. Listen, Brandy, I want to know what little old Lazarus, little old Elijah Rock, little Jonna that climbed up out the belly of the whale. We need to go see us an old nasty piece of autopsy report that says SIDS, bitch. Other than that, it didn't happen. It's another part. It's another figment of your motherfucking imagination, bitch. And you sound to me, see, this is how I know you would be nothing more than prison trade. Because unbeknownst to you, bitch, every time you open your mouth, despite the fact that you tried to sound tough at the end of the fucking day, do you know that there are predators in prison? Female predators that will check your temperature from the goddamn door. And no, she one of those, listen up. I'm here to do my motherfucker. Remember, Martin, you so crazy. Listen up. I'm here to do my motherfucking time. Ain't gonna be no eating and eating. Fuck all of that dyking. Bitch, we gonna be fighting ass type of bitches. And bitches will scope you out. Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. Bitch, you be prison trade. You listen, you be prison trade and on the track, bitch. Before you unpack your shit. Before you pick the lint balls. Off that scratchy ass motherfucking wool blanket, bitch. You will be prison trade and on the fucking track. You ain't gotta make no announcements, bitch. You ain't got to tell a bitch what you gonna do if a bitch gonna run up. Let a bitch. A lot of what Drake say? I got a lot of bitches talking about how they gonna run up on me. We'll run up when you see me, bitch, and we gonna see. I ain't gotta go live and tell you, listen up. We gonna need y'all to give us 6 feet. Don't run up on me. Don't run up on QB. We gonna have armed security, bitch. Again, that bitch will be prison trade before she can pick the lint off of her fucking blanket. Bitch, before you can sit your toothbrush on the top of your motherfucking toilet, bitch. You will be out there on the track. Bitches will be done tested out your pussy and then put you out there to sell your pussy for their cigarettes and their soups, bitch. You would have been traded for cigarettes, soups, and snacks, bitch. You sound like a bitch that's over there shaking in your motherfucking boots about your upcoming court date. You trying to scare the bitch that's just as much a rat as the fuck you is. You trying to scare the bitch into coming to court against your ass. Y'all sitting up there thinking it's about Sean Bradley. That bitch ain't thinking about Sean Bradley. She thinking about being prison trade in her own motherfucking case. She don't give a fuck about Sean Bradley. Y'all better stop letting this Chicago charlatan finesse you. No, bitch. You ain't worried about Sean Bradley, bitch. You trying to save your own lips. Cause you know what your lips going to be doing when you get in prison, don't you? Yes. Sure you do. FyeWeasel scared. It sound like FyeWeasel over there scared. It's a bird. It's a plane. Now it's a canceled motherfucking flight and a weasel in a motherfucking wig down to Chicago, y'all. That's all. Nothing to see. Just move on here. See, you can't call Weasel Nation. You know what I mean? You can't call Weasel Nation. Weasel Nation can't do nothing for you. When you hit that gate, bitch, Weasel Nation can't do nothing for you. Independentisa and all of the rest of them retarded bitches that put them globes behind their motherfucking name and a motherfucking thing, Weasel Nation can do for you when you get behind them gates, bitch. When you get behind them gates, it might be a Polish bitch. It might be a little old nasty piece of Polish bitch that whoop your ass, bitch. See, that's what you ain't used to. You ain't listen. They keep thinking it's sweet. Or listen, just because a person is not just you got chicks in prison that are non-black, you already know the Hispanic bitches is ruthless. And them bitches stick together and they roll deep. They don't even deal with the Mayates in prison, right? They stick together. They offer their own little, I mean, they'll do business with you, but they don't fuck with blacks peoples. They don't fuck with black peoples in prison either. But you will see, white chicks in there that are just as vicious. If not, listen, they are just as vicious. You got Aryan bitches in there, but you also have some vicious ass white bitches. Okay? Period. So no, it might be an old Polish bitch in there. Listen, fuck around and it'll be an old Polish bitch that'll put you out there on the track as trade. And it ain't no motherfucking thing. A Babe Nation, a Weasel Nation, renter babes, them hoes, Bush babes. They can't do nothing, bitch. Because in prison at the end of the goddamn day, the only goddamn bush they be concerned about is that bush between your legs, bitch. That's the only bush, babe, they concerned about. Period. A bunch of fucking weirdos. Since I had to go live late night and gather old motherfucker. Listen, this old motherfucker white boy from that sector, laying up at night, watching reruns of the motherfucking Wire, wishing he was laying next to Omar in a motherfucking bed ass motherfucking nigga. That think I'm something to play with. Like I told him, get your flowers in the motherfucking attic and byproduct of motherfucking incestuous relationships the fuck on, white boy, because I tell you this ain't what the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck what you do over there in your own motherfucking sector. Don't play with me, bitch. Not now, not the fuck ever. I'm not the fuck that. Go back over there and play with the other motherfucker. They let you get away with that over here. That's one thing. You come over here trying that bullshit, and we gonna pack your motherfucking ass the fuck on up. Again, Weasel with the wig on. We the people want to know, did you unpack yet, honey? Because based on you getting popped by them emails, and now we know the whole, let the record reflect that you and the queen with the dingling that's in charge of the girls down to Chicago, that we know you ain't take your bitch ass to Baltimore because you thought it was a bag on your motherfucking brain, bitch. We gonna need you to knock it the fuck off. With the, bitch, you ain't been giving a fuck what your sponsors think. Don't your sponsors tell you all the time not to give the bums no fucking energy? That's jealous shit. So now all of a sudden, listen, y'all, the same sponsors that she told y'all shouldn't be in nobody else's chat room when the fuck I'm live, suddenly, now you're listening to your sponsors. The sponsors that we got screenshots of you dropping down from out of the clouds telling that they should not be in any fucking body else's chat room when the fuck you go live. Suddenly, they can say, don't go to Baltimore, and you and that bitch sitting next to you listen. The same bitches that you told not to be over there supporting Stomp Down. Right? Because allegedly your life was threatened. Suddenly, they could say, FyeWeasel, don't go to Baltimore. And you ain't go? Is that what you would have us believe? No, honey. It was that email that you got that you thought was from a good motherfucking Samaritan just looking out for you and that dusty fucking motherfucker, that dyslexic dusty motherfucker sitting right there next to you. The dyslexic drunk that you was over there acting as a teleprompter for tonight. We ain't never heard that nigga read without listen. And listen, is it a coincidence that he was behind a black screen? Y'all remember when he was on camera and he had to read? No, they was behind the scenes. Listen, this is what we gonna do. That's why you ain't see that bitch talking about she live streaming from her prison cell. Well, bitch, at the end of the goddamn day, I done seen prison cells cleaner than what the fuck that background was that your daughter was up there performing it on TikTok. I said they got rooms, they got prison cells cleaner than your goddamn condo, bitch. In prison, you would get a write-up for how filthy that goddamn condo was, bitch. You can't keep no nasty cell in prison. Because you got lieutenants that walk through the block every day to make sure that the beds are made, all that shit. Floors swept, floors mopped. And at the end of the goddamn day, for the most part, not even you can't even, no, you ain't going, and nobody wants to bunk with a dirty bitch. If a dirty bitch moving your hut, no, she got to go find someplace else to live. Her hygiene habits and shit is not legit. No, I'm not cleaning up behind no other bitch. She got to live a certain way and keep her shit organized and keep shit clean. So you're not allowed to even keep a dirty cell inside a prison. So no. You gotta have all of that shit clean, organized, line the fuck up. Nobody wants to live with a nasty bitch. Okay? So went through the shit with the emails, she tried to imply that shit. Fuck that bitch. You don't request the motherfucking thing from me, ho. Okay? Period. I think that's it, pretty much, y'all. Go through the chat before I close out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Or what I wanted to say. But I'm just sitting there listening. I'm like, you just can't. I don't know. I can't. This broad is just it's never ends. But that was just like I never would have seen that coming. Like that's a whole nother level of type of dark. I never would have been able to see that coming. Okay, but see, that's what happens when claiming we from down to Chicago goes wrong. See, you don't get to deflect from your daughter being on social media in a dirty, filthy, nasty house that clearly is your shit by throwing some, basically sending motherfuckers on wild goose chases. Motherfuckers love conspiracies and they love to take some shit and run with it. No, bitch, when you made that shit up, about Rick possibly sending me some emails, or about Mr. Magoo, me and Mr. Magoo possibly being in cahoots. No, bitch, it's you that's trying to plan 9 live streams ahead of time. Now the question is going to be, you got your own motherfucking court case coming up in January. Nothing that you said tonight was about Sean Bradley. And here's the other thing. I saved the best for last. Did y'all catch it? QB, Bad Blood Baker, the battered bride. I got a question for the battered bride. Battered bride, Bad Blood Baker, did you dox Sean Bradley tonight on your live stream? I'm just, we the people want to know. See, I want to know, did you do it on purpose? Or was it an accident? I said, did y'all hear QB dox Sean Bradley tonight? See, because to my understanding, Sean Bradley is a basketball player, right? But that's not the name that QB used. So the question would be, did you do it on purpose? Or was it an accident that you went back with your dyslexic, dumb motherfucking drunken ass and try to clean up after the fact? Because you said Sean Bradley's name on your live stream tonight. I'm just saying. Now, was that on purpose? No. That ain't a motherfucking conspiracy, bitch. No, not my words, your words, bitch. I said, did you dox Mr. Bradley tonight on your fucking live stream? I think you did. I think you did. The question would be, was it an accident? Or was it strategic commentary? Was it strategic commentary? FyeWeasel. Did your Chi-Town charlatan co-host dox the man that you ain't friends with, that Mr. Magoo, that you was behind the scenes plotting and scheming with, to have fake fights and things? You remember the nigga that was over there at Pastor Wilson's house that said he had audio recordings of you talking and saying very bad things about Sean Bradley, right? Now, the same individual that gave Mr. Magoo his pink slip and his walking papers doxed Mr. Bradley tonight on your stream. So, was it an accident or was it strategic commentary? I just want to know, did the bitches in your chat or the bitches that called in that had so much to say, that gave down all this history, they didn't catch that? Because that's exactly what happened. Did she private that stream? Because if he said the man's name, my name, I know goddamn well you heard him say it. Did you private the string? You didn't think, or did you think that nobody was going to catch that? Child. That's why it pays to be up there. Listen, I'll be up there looking like an old nasty piece of turkey buzzard in the clouds, honey. I get a better view of everything that way. So was that an accident? You wicked weasel with a wig on? Or was it strategic commentary? And were you somehow, because I'm able to separate my standards, right? In that I'm not a motherfucking confidential government motherfucking informant. From the fact that I see you as an enemy and you will forever be. Because you played with my fucking family, bitch. So, did you think for some reason that because I'm able to remove my emotion from a situation and make a tactical decision or move in a tactical fashion, that didn't give you a pass, bitch? That had nothing to do with you, actually. That has to do with my standard. Like the governor said tonight, right? That had nothing to do with you. Don't flatter yourself, bitch. It had to do with my standard and what I give. So, again, did you do it on purpose? What was that planned? Like giving Mr. Magoo his pink slip after he had went after each and every one of your enemies? And every last one of your enemies in the beef sector he went after. And then you sent him packing. And he's still suffering his little narcissistic injury and in a narcissistic rage because of it. So I agree with I agree with Vic 100%. When Vic talked about the man attacking his family, nobody gave a shit. But now it's some big deal because the motherfucker's going to start attacking yours. Well, that's just what the fuck it is. You're no fucking victim, bitch. You're a fucking volunteer. You're a volunteer when you got behind the scenes with the motherfucking nigga. You played the enemy of my enemy as my fucking friend. And because you were so fucking desperate, you were not able to make a tactical decision. So what you tried to do being the weak bitch that you are, just like you were when you went down there and took out paperwork on a woman that lived in a completely different city that had no intention of coming to Chicago to do anything to you or your child. Nonetheless, you went to court and did every fucking thing you're now accusing or basically pointing out that the rat in Baltimore is doing. You did nothing any different. You did nothing different. You just want people to look at it different. You want people to see you as different. So again, the question would be your interest in getting a VS off of YouTube. I'm not talking about what VS did with anybody else. I'm talking about you, FyeWeasel, and VS. I'm talking about the reasons why you took paperwork out. See, you took paperwork out on VS, right? So I'm talking about you, nobody else, and nobody else issues with VS. I'm talking about yours, bitch. I'm talking about your motivation. And you did all of that for what reason? To be VS 2.0? Because you haven't did any fucking thing any different. Just like in the same instance of where you wanted Stomp Down to be canceled because you wanted the people that support you to cancel Stomp Down because you said your life was threatened. While just a few weeks prior to that, you thought it was hilarious that my children would be my pallbearers. So no, that had nothing to do. That had more to do with you believing that your kingdom had been threatened. And here's the thing. Your kingdom will always be up for grabs. You know why? Because you're not willing to fight for it. You're willing to use flunkies, flying monkeys, and mindless minions to fight for your kingdom. Anytime other queens, other kings see those type of chinks in your fucking armor, guess what, bitch? Your kingdom will always be up for grabs because you're not willing to sever any and all heads for it, and you're not willing to fight for it. First and foremost, you don't act in the best interest of those even in those under your dominion, you have those under your dominion. They're not even a part of your kingdom. They're under your dominion. You don't even act in their best interest. You act in your own best interest. So how do you intend to get to Baltimore for your own court date? Or are you going to wash, rinse, and repeat the same excuse? Nothing that you said today was on the behalf of Sean Bradley. You presented as if you were reasoning or basically that you were putting it out there as if to say it was wrong and a person should reconsider, when in all actuality, what you wanted the motherfucking rat to consider was to think about whether or not she wanted to proceed with the prosecution in your case. Not Sean Bradley's. Not daughter here. Not mama sipping. But FyeBabe. Instead of you fucking worrying about what somebody can prove. And see, here's the other thing, y'all. The reason why she made the appeal for additional goddamn emails is because she wanted to know if I had anything that will help her in her case. Bitch, before I give you, I would give you any fucking thing that would help you in any fucking stretch of the, in any shape, form, or fashion. Little Lazarus would rise up and say mama and fucking dada. The probability of that happening from an imaginary baby that you never lost and never died, so therefore there's no funeral, there's no SIDS, there's no SIDS as a manner of death on a goddamn death certificate in the coroner's office because the child never existed. It's a figment of your fucking imagination. Before I would do any fucking thing to help you, bitch, little Lazarus would rise up and ask mommy for a kiss. How about that part? Now go run tell that. Go again. When you did, and this is the reason why you got to carry you. The minute you let The minute you think, this is why I never let my guard down around these type of bitches. They are, everything is a finesse with these bitches. I ain't talking about the type of finesse when you want something from a nigga. These bitches think that they can finesse you like a nigga. And because you can talk them bitches in your chat up out of what's in their pockets, in their pocketbooks. And you probably done talked to a couple of them about their pussy. Ain't that right, Independentisa? You think that trick works with every motherfucking body, bitch. And I assure you it does not. In order for you to play games with semantics, bitch, you would have to have I don't know, proof that you graduated from a 4-year university. You did say you had a degree, right? So again, when you can explain why there's that overlapping of the dates between the time that you claim that you were in active military duty, that you were attending a 4-year university, and that you were working at one of the biggest banks in Chicago, and you were also running, what was it, a driving business, a limousine business, and in addition to being a crossing guard. When you can explain those inconsistencies, then maybe when I'm at my peak, you may be able to get the benefit of the doubt. But those little Chicago, these are all hustlers. I mean, these are all hustlers' tricks. You give them a little bit of rope, and the bitches start turning double dutch. You see, what you confused, FyeWeasel, was that you weren't given any rope. That had nothing to do with you or liking you. It had to do with principle, bitch. It had to do with having integrity. I don't need you to co-sign a motherfucking thing, bitch. And unlike you, certain principles that I stand on, they're not flexible depending on who the fuck is my op at that particular time. It's because I have a backbone. And I would crush you in a million pieces to protect my kingdom. You, on the other hand, have indebted yourself to a motherfucker that at the end of the goddamn day may end up usurping your kingdom. Because here's another thing to consider. Let me ask you this. If for whatever reason, FyeBabe and QB were to part ways, who do you think would walk away? With the short end of the stick? If you think by any stretch of the imagination, just because those bitches are over there with globes behind their names, that if QB separated from FyeBabe, doesn't matter whether or not he's openly gay or part of the LGBTQ community, the fact of the matter is he's still a male and he still has male privilege, even as a gay male. And because you have a large demographic of Black women that have this fixation on gay males, and I think You underestimate that at the end of the day, if they were to separate, that QB would leave with the short end of the stick. Don't be confused about the fact that a large part of Weasel Nation would leave and go with QB if they were to part ways. So as long as she is supposed to be a so-called queen and you allow somebody else to fight your battles, that sends a message to every queen and king in the surrounding kingdoms that your kingdom is up for grabs, because that's seen as a chink in your armor. It's certainly seen as a weakness, because what that says is that just like in the instance of when a queen or a king may know that this is not the time to attack, that weakness and that chink in your armor is always going to be there. And it's going to be something that people can, it's going to be something that can be picked at a time of weakness. So sometimes they'll wait before they launch their attack because the time is not right, and that requires self-discipline. And clearly you don't have any, because you felt the need. You could have came out here and talked about any motherfucking thing. You knew at the end of the fucking day, nobody else knew about that email but you and QB. So you knew what your reasons were for not going to Baltimore. And rather than you just leave well enough alone, because the people that you scammed, just like you scammed with the Fication thing, they had already told you to go head on and keep the money. Even though if you had any fucking integrity, if you weren't such a charlatan and a scammer and a shyster, you would have said, nope, you all give me enough. You take, you love on my, you love on my child. You love on me. I have my own business. It's not your responsibility to sponsor things like this. At least I could do. Not ask them whether or not they want a refund, because again, I concur, it puts them on the spot. If you have all of these other dumb bitches saying, no, no, it's okay, you lied to me. It's okay, you had me sponsor a trip that I asked you all to sponsor. So, but no, you've decided that you're not going. Let me ask you this. Did the same stupid bitches that jumped at the opportunity to sponsor a trip, would you have me believe the same dumb bitches that from the time that you announced that you were coming to Baltimore have been in every fucking chat room in the fucking sector dropping, they wanted to see what the fuck was going to happen on December the 16th. And for me, on December the 16th, to match that fucking energy. And we didn't know how much support y'all had in Baltimore. You mean to tell me these bitches that have been waiting all these fucking months for something to pop off at the fucking courthouse, all of a sudden, a week before the goddamn court date, had a fucking change of heart about your fucking safety? You stupid bitch. Who the fuck do you think you playing with? It's the gall of it all for me. It's the audacity of this bitch to think somebody's that fucking stupid. These dumb bitches have been in everybody's fucking chat anticipating they were going to pay for you to come to Baltimore to fight a bitch. They didn't just pay for your bum ass to come. They paid for his bum ass too. Now all of a sudden they got a fear for your fucking safety. But they didn't have a fear for your safety when they was going to pay for you to go to Baltimore to fight a bitch. What, were they worried about threats then? Because I threatened you, right? Were they worried about threats then? So when did this heightened sense of you being in danger or the threats motivate you? So much so that you canceled your flight, canceled your hotel, and canceled your reservation for the rent-a-car. They were just over there in the fucking chat the day I was on Pizarro's channel, going back and forth with Olivia without the motherfucking ovaries. They were just in the fucking chat typing December the 16th. No, not somebody else. Weasel Nation. With globes behind their fucking name, bitch. So when did you have this inspiration? I'm sorry. So when did the motivation? So when did this come about that they were concerned about your safety for you and QB? And if you had any concerns about your safety, you all had hired security, right? You hired security from the beginning, so you had no worries, right? It wouldn't have mattered what the case was. I'm just trying to figure out, when did you start listening to your sponsors? So rather than you say, I'm not asking y'all for anything else. You know, y'all do enough. You do enough. You don't have to. I am going to. Because you know what I know for a certainty, bitch? It doesn't matter what the fuck they said. Simply because they said you could keep the fucking money, it doesn't mean that, just as Brianna said, first of all, it shows what type of businesswoman you are. Because if these were in fact sponsors, it was your responsibility. Because you do have a company with 10 employees, right? I said you have a company with 10 employees, right? At least that's per your EIDL loan, that you have 10 employees. So out of those 10 employees that you listed in order to qualify for those loans, you mean to tell me you had sponsors and you didn't know who they were? How about this? If you had any fucking integrity, and you were actually a businesswoman instead of a bum bitch with a website, a wicked weasel that sold wigs. We got us a wig selling weasel, y'all. You could have sent them back their money and sent a note. Money is being refunded for this reason. See, just like y'all over there on those private Zoom meetings, plotting and scheming, you could have refunded them back their money and told them after you had refunded it. But you knew that a lot of them were not going to ask for a refund, because the people that actually did ask for a refund actually got attacked, right? Didn't you dox and basically try to humiliate the people that asked for the money back from Fication? So they had already learned that lesson, because that's also a fact. That's also a part of it. That a lot of them were not going to ask for the money because they were scared to ask for the money. I'll show you every email I received when you show me that those 111 or 117 people got back their fucking money the last time you scammed them and took a vacation. You planned the vacation, but the only motherfuckers that went on vacation was you and your child and your mother. You took their money and went on vacation with it. So you knew they weren't going to ask for the money back. That's the reason why. That's the reason. You know they weren't going to say that they wanted a refund. That's actually the reason why you asked. And you asked on a public platform. Because you knew it would shame them if they asked for it. That the ones that are the cult members, the more fanatical cult members, would have looked at that as a sign of high treason. And you got the gist of that. But that, again, that's just another part of your hustle. I got an appointment tomorrow, y'all, with a neurologist down on 37th and on 37th and Market. I don't know if I told y'all before, but I had actually a head injury from years ago. Okay, where I got a concussion. And I got to go see a neurologist. I had an MRI a couple of weeks ago. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But yes. Okay. So sometimes if they when you hear me stuttering, that's why if I talk slower, it doesn't happen. But if I start trying to talk fast, again, it has some effect on not only my short-term memory, but on my cognitive skills. Okay, to some extent. So I'll have the brain fog or whatever. But so just bear with me. But yeah. So this was, thank you, ex-wife. This was nothing more than a deflection. And that's the reason why you haven't been seeing her come on camera, because the bitch is embarrassed. I'm sorry, bitch. Nobody photoshopped chicken bones and filth in your fucking house. Nobody did that. Okay? So when she made this allegation that Rick Reed sent me some emails, he absolutely did not. Rick Reed and I have never communicated behind the scenes. Okay? He's never sent me any emails. Okay? Or nothing of the sort. We've never had a conversation or anything. So that was a blatant lie. And to imply that was almost implying that he was going behind somebody who he's openly said that he was cool with back and somehow snaking them with me to basically to start something between me and them. But that's the game that she plays. And what you seen when he went live and read those emails was her karma for her doing that, for who she is. See, when you talk about judges and character, you know what your character would be in front of a judge, bitch? See, because just like you can come somewhere, you know what your character would be in front of a judge? Your character in front of a judge would be proving that while you went and put all that paperwork on Susie, and it will show the extremes that you went through to put that paperwork on VS. And then we have everything you did from the time of VS's arrest from IHOP Gate on forward up to present day as a testament to your character, to what you did after you were granted relief from the courts, what you've done on the platform, and how that parallels to the person that you took that paperwork out on. So don't think by any motherfucking stretch of the imagination, bitch, you could play the, oh, they consider criminal history. See, again, you are yet one of those dumb bitches that believe because you don't have a criminal record that somehow means that you can walk into a court of law and play the, I don't have a criminal history. Bitch, you don't have a criminal history. But you have a YouTube resume and cover letter that precedes you, bitch, that speaks for you. As a matter of fact, it speaks for the people that aren't even on YouTube anymore. You have a documented fucking history of every fucking thing you have said and you have done for the duration of the time that you've been on YouTube. That also can be used against you to define your character. We also have you doxing people. We also have you dragging people's children. Judges don't consider that, right? Judges just say, oh, FyeWeasel only drug kids, sent papers of a person's HIV status and criminal history around to their neighbors, told people to call CPS on people, all of this other shit. But just ignore that, judge, and look at this person's criminal history. Is that the way judges do it? No, that's how a dumb bitch like you thinks. That you can walk into a court of law, and because you can articulate the fucking queen, you know how many bitches are in prison that will never see the light of day again, that can articulate the Queen's English, that are college educated, not no bitches that had to make up some degree, but bitches that have master's degrees, PhDs behind their names that are in prison. Bitches that graduated from 4-year universities, bitches that graduated from HBUs. But you're a basic, you're a street level hustler. You don't even have the type of con game with you. You don't have the catch me as I can type of con game. Nor will you ever reach that pinnacle in terms of your con game, in terms of your hustle. That's why you got to keep control of them stupid bitches in your chat room. That's why you can't let them go nowhere. That's why you can't allow them to be fucking free thinkers. You have to try to keep control of them because you're a street level hustler. That's it. She got a street level hustle about her. You would never be a white collar criminal type of bitch. First and foremost, you don't have the self-discipline. She could have left well enough alone. You've been plotting and scheming and doxing, right? Because that's where you dox me and my family at, right? You didn't do that on YouTube initially. You only did it on YouTube after. When you did it on YouTube, you had already did it on Patreon months before. So that's a testament to your fucking character as well. The other thing that we have is we have the individual that you were in cahoots with on Jay Wilson's platform, saying that he sent you, oh, is Suge still in the chat? I meant to tell you that, bro. I texted you earlier, but I meant to tell you that Mr. Magoo was over there on Jay Wilson's platform saying that he sent FyeWeasel my information on me and information on you. And again, why would he be sending her information about Suge? For what reason? So no, bitch. You have your co-defendant over there on Jay Wilson's platform disclosing that not only were you saying shit, talking shit about Sean Bradley behind his back, that he alleges that he recorded, but you also have him sending you other people's personal information. So do you think for some reason sound bites like that or video footage like that of you doing things like that isn't relevant? You don't think that that's admissible in a court of law? Sorry, not sorry, but it absolutely is. If somebody goes to a YouTube channel and says that this is a public platform, all the more so if a person were to release an audio recording with you discussing it. The fact of the matter is, he said that he sent it to you. Now, because he's a pathological liar, you have to take everything that he says with a grain of salt. But the question would be, why would he be over there sending FyeBabe information on Suge? For what reason? He wasn't going back and forth with her. But this is the type of shit that he does. And this is what he is, a geriatric version of Bullets Gotti. That's exactly what he is. Because he pulled a Bullets Gotti over there on Pastor Wilson's platform. He was going to try to get in good or try to pull more people to stay tuned and to stay plugged into him and his dry ass channel on life support, under the pretense that he had some information that he could possibly or potentially release. It was twofold in that it was a way to try to intimidate her, to keep her on pins and needles, but it was also to appeal to Pastor Wilson in his audience, that he had information that they might want to stay tuned in for. And a part of that information that he alleges was that she was talking shit about Sean behind his back. But he openly admitted out of his own mouth that he sent her information on me and Suge. That's the same thing Bullets Gotti does. So when he sent that information to Fye, that's the pretense that he sent it under. That's often the reason why a lot of my ops even gave Gotti access to their platforms, because they came to him under that pretense that they had information on me. Or if he was going to dox one of their enemies or give them just so They basically got the information from him and entertained him because he was bringing them information. He wasn't doing anything different over there on Pastor Wilson's platform. He was doing the same fucking thing. I'm sorry. He admitted to the same thing over there on Pastor Wilson's platform. But he was giving Babe other people's information the same way that Gotti does. So he's no different and he's no better than Gotti. He was over there pulling a Gotti. Especially if he can't, if a person can't show this person asks for information. We just watched the same dynamic play out when it came to sending somebody a woman's photographs. It wouldn't matter whether or not she asked for him the fuck or not. The fact of the matter is he made the conscious decision to send it to her just because she asked for it. And he didn't have any reservations about it. And he did that for what he thought he stood to gain from him doing that. That was a brownie point for him. Or so he thought. Well, you know what, beautiful soul? In his particular instance, what I think about him is at the end of the damn day, because of the fact that he attacked my grandbaby, you know, for him, somebody should have put him in a pine box. He's done the shit too many times. And he runs around laughing. Him and Roski too. They both need to be in pine boxes. You know, and at the end of the day, doing the stuff that he does, eventually that was going to, somebody should have been did it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Like I said, the other, he's just a person that, no, you can't, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him one iota. He has done the same thing repeatedly again and again and again. And that's just that. Too bad they recorded the apology. Instead of motherfuckers opening fire. Sorry, not sorry. I don't feel sorry for him, not one bit. He doesn't get an ounce of sympathy, empathy, or compassion from me. When you attack my grandbabies or my children, that's it. That's the fucking point of no return. I don't give a fuck how much time has passed to this, that, and all the other. You know what I mean? If I tolerate your ass, I tolerate your ass. Forgiveness is one thing. Some motherfuckers you just tolerate so you can keep an eye on them. You know? But no. Him, no. Not when you talk about my motherfucking grandbaby. Hell, freeze the fuck over. Just like this bitch. And again, she got it twisted. But that's you know, she's so used to being able to manipulate them broads in her chat. No, bitch, I can separate my emotion from a situation and make a decision based on business, make a decision based on a tactical move I'm planning on making or being strategic. And all the more so when I'm dealing with a bunch of goddamn slithering ass, slimy ass motherfucking serpents. Like a motherfucking FyeWeasel. So bitch, don't ever get that part confused. Your head will still be severed none the motherfucking less if you ever cross that line, bitch. We're not friends. I don't have any interest in being your friend. I don't have any interest in being inducted. Not now, today, tomorrow, not the fuck ever. And you or your cult. Fuck you and your cult members, bitch. Fuck you and the bitches that you came with. Forever in 1,001 years, bitch. See, again, I think you confuse me with weak motherfuckers that have no testicular or cliticular fortitude or no fucking backbone. You will be my op for life, bitch. Now, had you just kept it at me, or had you pulling out my information been warranted or justified, had I done that to you, and had I been the initiator or the aggressor in that situation, in terms of putting your information out, then that would have been something different. But I don't even respect what you did, bitch, because you did it in a private meeting where people out here, but not for them being privy to what you were doing on your Patreon, they wouldn't have known that. So I don't even respect that type of move. I don't respect you, period, bitch, because you've never fought your own battles. And at some point in time, you can dance with the devil, bitch, but at some point you can dance with the devil, but at some point you're gonna have to pay the motherfucking fiddler. And if you think that QB fighting all your battles is not going to come back to bite you in your fucking ass, make a note of it. It's going to be the reason why he usurped your kingdom. Because that's a sign of weakness, in which you fail to forget, this is the reason why you're not suitable to be a queen. A queen makes executive fucking decisions. And a queen would know better. Because when it's said and done, he's still a male. I don't give a fuck how much of a friend you think he is. The daddy that your daughter will never have. The husband that'll never hold you at night. The bride that you'll never be. He can be the bestie because you know you'll never be a bride. And all of that other shit. At the end of the fucking day, don't think by any stretch of the imagination you're the only fucking one thinking about your best interest. Because you know what's interesting? He actually has his little brand thing going on. His little t-shirt promotions and all of that other bullshit he got going on over there. While you have your little drop shipment wig company thing. Do you think for some reason he don't know you over there calling out other people? Do you think for some reason he don't see that as a weakness in you? That you're not really going up against your ops? That you're enlisting him to really help you attack other people, and the people that he's helping you attack actually are women? He's not sitting back on the sidelines allowing you to fight your own battle. He's there fighting women with you. But again, stupid bitch, he knows that you're scared. Anytime you have the reluctance and you sort of kind of bait him in or pull him in, even if you're doing it ever so subtly, he sees that as a weakness. So whenever the fuck he gets good and ready, if ever the time comes for him to make his move, he knows exactly where that chink in your armor is. And he knows exactly where to hit your fucking ass at. But I think for the time being, both of you are going to keep your mouth closed because you don't want to reveal or you know the other has the potential to reveal where the bodies are laying. So you're going to get up here and play this little bestie game. And then you have this sort of codependency type of relationship thing going on. But he's also getting something out of it. It's interesting that you seem to think that Stomp Down was a threat because your supporters were over there in his chat. Well, what do you think about your supporters being over there in his chat? You don't think the outcome would be potentially the same? See, that would be another weakness of you in making you unfit and unworthy of being a queen of any fucking thing. You're the queen of wicked weasels and motherfucking wigs, bitch. That's the only thing you could ever be qualified to be a trip. The only thing you could ever qualify to be the queen of. Okay, y'all. So it's been fun. I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't get to the chat, but I'll make the chat will be public. Once the stream loads up, I'm not gonna privatize the chat. The chat will be public, y'all. Okay, so you all will get a chance to go back and see what everybody was saying, this, that, and all the other. Okay, I'm going to get me some sleep. I have a neurology appointment tomorrow. So I'm not certain what time I'm going to be. Good night, Choreo Lover. I'm not certain what time I'm going to be live tomorrow. Okay, I may have to actually have another MRI, you know, but yeah, I just wanted to address that real quick, that she got popped yet again. I have never seen a bitch get popped so many times, and then she gets up here and just lies. Now, for any of y'all that did not see or hear verbatim, if you go over to, if you type in Rick Reed's, if you go over to Rick Reed's channel, his last live stream, if he left the stream up, you can hear in detail the email that he sent QB deep trolling, what we refer to as deep trolling. And that is the real reason why they canceled out and didn't go to Baltimore. So if I think of anything else, or if anything else comes to mind, once I wake up, y'all know I wake up in the wee hours of the morning to take my thyroid medicine. If anything else comes to mind, or if I realize I forgot something, I'll come back and do a little impromptu stream before I have my neurology appointment. But thank you all for coming through. I appreciate you. Okay. But yeah, go and check out that stream. Here's the thing. Do this. If you didn't watch FyeBabe's stream, watch the stream with her and QB, and then go watch Rick Reed's stream. And you'll see each and every last thing that she said and that he said get debunked. She's popped yet again. Just like the bitch got popped a couple of months ago, posting a picture of a house that she was supposedly getting ready to move into. They find the picture and realize where she got the picture from. It's a stock photo. The lies are never ending with this hoe. So at best, she's not somebody that you can take serious, or a person that really has an interest in putting out the truth. She's more like the star in the International Inquirer in terms of how she reports. It's entertainment only. It's truth mixed in with a little bit of lies. So that type of, hey Angel, that type of news source is not reliable. Okay? Not at all. All right? So good night, you all. Enjoy the remainder of your evening. Everybody sleep well. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.